The next topic that we will be considering is the 21st century leadership landscape. Now, in this particular session, we'll be discussing the societal changes and the expectation, the increasing expectation that these societal changes are having on leadership, the demand on leaders to adapt to societal changes. Every leader must understand that things are changing very fast. And if you don't bring up your leadership level or capacity to accommodate these speedy changes that is happening in the society, of course, you are going to be left behind. We have social media, we have so many technological changes, and we have so many societal demands around us. So join me back in the class as we expand and discuss this subject matter on the 21st century landscape of leadership. All right, welcome back to the class. Now, we're going to be discussing the 21st century landscape of leadership. Every leader needs to understand that the world is changing and that things are changing rapidly. And as you as a leader must not be left behind in the changes, in the current change that is happening because it's rapid. Imagine some years back, what we used to have, things that we used to do, compare with what is happening now, you will see that there's a great gap. In fact, there was a time when there was introduction of the social media and it was blowing the mind of everybody and we're like, oh wow, social media, Facebook, everybody was doing Facebook before we knew what was happening. The WhatsApp came in, we have Instagram now, we have the X, which is the Twitter and now called X, and then we have LinkedIn for business profile. You as a business person needs to have a LinkedIn profile, it's very important. And then we have quite a lot of we have TikTok now and a lot of things happening in the social media. There came a time when we started having bots, the bots, and then bots were doing things, automating processes, and voila, we now have artificial intelligence, and almost everything we do now, all our applications, everything we do from picture to video to audio to everything around is now attached to artificial intelligence. And so you as a leader must understand that things are changing rapidly and you must be ready to adapt. Okay, we discussed about one of the characteristics of a leader. We said is adaptability. That if you are going to um, be a great leader, you must be adaptable. So that is coming back to you again. Things are changing. Leaders must adapt to the demands of a diverse and digitally connected world. The world is connected digitally. Things are changing. Challenges include cultural shift, generalization, generalizational differences, and the need for technological fluency. So everything is changing. Okay. So a leader must be aware. They you can't afford to be a leader that is left behind. You can't afford to be giving explanation. It is because I don't know this, it's because I don't know that. Then how do you lead people if you are not aware? So things are changing drastically, and every leader must adapt to the demands of these rapid changes. Okay, now church leaders must um, focus on the following area, and it's very important. The first one is the modern challenges, the secularization. The church is becoming worldly. There are quite a lot of societal changes. We have evolving expectations. Now, you see that the society is beginning to drive expectation from the church. And one way or the other, the society demands what the church should look like. And the pastor is struggling between maintaining spirituality of the church and adapting to the social changes or the social demands of the environment where he finds himself. So you as a leader need to understand how to balance this. Okay, there are evolving expectations. The young people in the church have big expectations from the church or from the pastor, from the leader. There are quite a lot. So as a leader, how do you cope with these changes? How do you factor yourself into understanding how to cope? Communication is the key. I will not just waste time on that. I'll just tell you communication is the key. As a leader, you must learn to communicate. Okay. And in terms of communication, I'm not talking about communicating your vision now. I'm talking about asking people, talking to people at all levels. Have an understanding of the expectation because the expectations are evolving. Okay. So have an understanding of the expectations from the young people, have an understanding of expectations from the youth, from the teens, from the teenagers, even from children. What are the children looking at? How do they want to be treated even when they come to the church? How would they like their environment to look like? Don't forget that some of the children in your church are, school in some environment where what they see every day, when they come to your own environment and they see something different or below that level, they are discouraged. They are telling their parents they don't want to come. So there are quite a lot of things changing around. So you must understand the expectation, the social media expectation. What are the things that is happening? So when you communicate, you ask questions. In communicating, you ask questions. You note these questions now, you discuss it, and then you act on them. Okay, and then make sure you create a balance because we have some leaders that tilts towards the left, or some that tilts towards the right. So towards the left now will probably be towards social social changes, social demand, and they will turn their church into a social gathering. While on the other side, we have those who are so spiritual, so highly spiritual, and will not accommodate anything about the social changes and the demand or evolving expectation, and they tilt towards that. And of course, they lose people and they don't know what is happening. Okay, even Jesus said, you are in the world, and I'm not going to pray the Father to take you out of the world, but that you'll be able to operate in the world. He said that to his disciples. I'm not going to pray to God to take you out. I know the world is going to show you a lot of like what I used to tell people, we show you pepper, but Jesus, just let's just paraphrase or just try to realign the conversation in a modern way or in our own way, that the world will show you pepper and yeah, and that I'm not going to pray for God to quickly remove you, but I'm going to pray that you are going to be able to cope. So you are not to leave, you are to blend and see how you can maintain your spirituality and uphold the the changes around to bring spirituality into them. Then the second thing that the church leader wants to focus on, of course, is opportunities. You must learn to leverage on technology for outreach and quite a lot of technological advancement. I remember some years back, if you want to run a live program, you will have to engage a media outreach, maybe like you go and meet NTA, the Nigeria Television Authority, talking about Nigerian environment now, or you call AIT, and then they bring their gadgets, they set it in your location, they charge you a lot, and then they transmit for you live. And then people are able to watch you on the TV from everywhere they are. But amazing, look at what is happening today. You don't have to go through that. I mean, with the technology, all you need is a Facebook account. You can go on live. YouTube account, you can go online. Instagram account, you go and do live and transmit to wherever you want, and people will follow you. You can do Zoom live, you can do quite a lot. So leverage on technology for outreach so that you can foster the way you communicate with larger audience. Okay, larger audience, because some people are too limited to the environment they have found themselves, and they are thereby not reaching out enough. So you must create inclusive environment, and then of course a fostering community. Then we cannot overemphasize this adaptability. You must be ready to embrace change without compromising core values. Okay, so as a leader, you must embrace change without compromising the core value. Okay, so I'll stop here briefly, and then we'll come back and look at another subject.